people, I can see how a dress like this got its name. My shoulders are freezing. I'm just... Oh, hey! Hi! It's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2, Episode 1. And before I get started, I just want to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel in the last 30 days. I've had 400 new subscriptions. Thank you so much. And I want to remind you that if you do like this video, make sure you say so by hitting that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what's wrong with you? How else are you going to get notices of my new videos? Seriously. I also want to take a minute to thank this week's Tipperdoo, Susan Nicolai, Vito Bocuzzi, and Kristen Lee. Thank you, dolls. If you would like to leave me a tip and support this channel, the links are all down below. Now, hey, drink me! Oh, what is this? It's Tim Hortons. A Canadian coffee? Well, that's not much of a cocktail. Oh. So what is this, IKEA? I have to make my own? Oh, right. Okay, so this is, do you hear the siren? The minute I start shooting, it's been quiet all day, but I digress. This is Moonshine Creek's Double Coffee Liqueur. This was sent to me by my good friend John Dwyer. This is very interesting because it's double coffee liqueur. So I thought it was going to be a cream coffee, but it's not. It's clearly not. Now, other non-cream coffee liqueurs like Kahlua are 20% alcohol. This one's 25. I'm just letting you know. If you're having a particular morning with family visiting, like Thanksgiving or Christmas around there, this might help you through. I'm just going to say, I want to give it a little taste before I put in my coffee, though. Ooh, that is so smooth. It's got a nice heat to it that makes you feel like it wouldn't even do badly in a hot chocolate. I'm just saying, personally, I think this would be delicious on ice cream. But right now, I'm going to double up my double from Tim Hortons. Oh, there we go. All right. No heavy lifting is all I'm saying. Oh, that's Canadian, eh? So much caffeine. I'm alert now, I'm just saying. Seriously. Okay, so let's get to it. Can I just say that after the premiere of Drag Race 13, this premiere gave me everything that I needed. I laughed like an idiot through the whole show. Well, not the whole show. And these queens were amazing. And I'm not ashamed to tell you, I may have made some hasty choices in my picks for top 4 is all I'm saying. Seriously. So we kicked this season off by piping in my Glaswegian teddy bear, Lawrence Chaney. Oh, do you think she'll let me call her Larry? Because I'm gonna. I loved everything about this look. The wig, the makeup, the fact that she popped our cherries of our Scottishness was the brown sauce on my haggis. Oh, hi. I'm so glad that Larry called herself the Susan Boyle of drag because those eyebrows really needed an explanation for me. I'm just saying. You didn't think they were a little low? Next through the workroom doorway was Cherry Valentine. Well, almost. Poor thing hadn't read the clearance on that doorway and got her styrofoam hearts headpiece all caught up in it. Is she the first on-screen do-over? Is that another first for Drag Race UK? This queen is gorgeous, and no offense, looks nothing like herself out of drag. Wow, what a transformation. On a side note, Cherry will be playing the role of Davina DeCampo's Laugh. My lovely Larry got shady quite quick, eh? Reading Cherry on her teeth and, well, Darlington drag in general, but she wrapped it up in a hilarious laugh, so I don't think Cherry noticed. Hell, even if she did, her response was interrupted by the arrival of a tall glass of Tia coffee, and can I just say, best name origin story ever. Tia Mowry and former UN Secretary General Coffee Annan, although I think Tia would have had a little more fun if her last name had been Boutros Ghali. Just me. Tia says, as a queen from Clapham, she's more concerned about entertaining an audience than looking her best. Well, we'll see how far that gets her. I have to say, there were a couple of queens I did not recognize when they walked through the workroom doors, and this next queen was one of them. Bimini Bon Boulash couldn't have looked more different than her Meet the Queen video, because she had 4 things on her now that she didn't then. Eyebrows and boobs. And what a difference they made, I'm so serious. I loved all that pink vinyl, very apropos for a vegan queen. The fact that she's from East London certainly gave Tia something to judge. Poor Larry saw their budding friendship start to fade when she realized Bimini being vegan meant she doesn't eat chicken McNuggets. I don't know why. Doesn't it mean more nuggets for Larry? Next through the doors was one of the most anticipated queens of the season. Fancy a slice? Ginny Lemon, the self-professed glamour nana, a hybrid of Grace Jones and Sue Pollard. Personally, I just think she's high. Out of drag, she looks like Elton John's illegitimate bastard brother, Gus. Just me? Next through the workroom doors, the fashion doll of Dundee, our second Scottish queen, Ellie Diamond, looking all kinds of expensive. Normally, I don't like skirts cut like chaps and such, but the lines on her peekaboo skirt were stunning. Proportionizing, people. Larry seemed to be a little thrown by Ellie Diamond, unless Miss Piggy has suddenly become a compliment. The only time Miss Piggy is an actual compliment is when you're talking to Miss Piggy. The other queens were very impressed that Ellie had made her outfit. Actually, I have to say, I was shocked to hear that she had made the majority of the wardrobe she brought to RuPaul's Drag Race. See? That's how you do it. Her and Jada Essence Hall, just saying. Next year, she says she's tackling shoes. Well done, Ellie. Seriously. I love that for all their declaration of friendship, there seemed to be a quiet rivalry underlying Larry and Ellie's history. I, for one, am excited to see if their pleasantries prevail. But before Ellie and Lawrence could slop any more sugar, in walked that blue circle babe herself, Sister, who looked like she'd been tasting the rainbow. And by that, I mean blowing Smurfs. For the most part, I don't think the other queens thought much of Sister's drag because no one read her for her blue circle. Seriously, Larry? No smart comments now? The next queen through the workroom doors was already a brand. Well, at least on her own jacket. It was Welsh beauty taste. And I have to say, I'm impressed by this queen. Not because she's beautiful and polished, but because she was inspired by Cruella de Vil, which I'm assuming, because of her age, she means Glenn Close's version and not the original drawing. But still. Speaking of Glenn Close, the next queen to enter the workroom was none other than the legendary cabaret sensation, Joe Black, giving us all kinds of Sunset Boulevard realness. The other queens were gagged. This is intimidation at its best. But before the queens could completely deflate, in walked this season's 10th queen, Veronica Green. Now, I just think this queen is stunning. And I love that she says she goes from Gollum to gorgeous in 3 hours. See, that's the difference between us. 2 hours. I just love this queen. I wish she'd worn her wig a little lower. I have to say, I was surprised that the other queens hadn't heard of her. Am I the only one who saw her on All Together now? Or is everyone else just jealous? Seriously. 11th through the workroom door was another queen whose reputation preceded her, Astina Mandela. And from what she had to say about herself, I'm expecting her to be the cause of most of the trouble in the workroom, especially if she loses a challenge, I'm just saying. I don't know about you, but the last person I heard talk about themselves like that is packing up to leave the White House. Too soon? The last person through the season 2 workroom doors was Ahora. Guess whose favorite she is? Yes. Jorge has bonded over Ahora's boy named Jorge. But no matter how Jorge begs, I won't be calling him Ahora. Especially since most people just call him a whore. I don't judge. I loved Ahora's take on the classic Dorothy look, even if she did throw Toto away. But can I just say, because of the detail in that wig, I wish she'd centered it better. Did that bother anyone else? Am I splitting hairs? For the most part, Ahora seemed welcome into the pack, as long as you weren't Tia. Something tells me she's not going to have a lot of nice things to say about most of the queens. Seriously. I love that Ahora started as a fashion designer and got into drag because the queens she was sewing for weren't wearing her creations right. A taste! And with that realization that everyone was present and accounted for, the queens congratulated themselves for making it to season 2 of Drag Race UK. As well they should. Here's to you, dolls. Seriously. But they did not celebrate for long because Rue's video message called them back to reality TV. And even though Rue's message revealed nothing, it didn't dampen the Queen's excitement when Rue entered the workroom. Ah! And Rue wasn't alone. He brought the Brit crew in to help him with this season's first mini challenge, Wimbledon. The Queens had to pick up a racket and play with some balls, Wimbledon style, while famed celebrity photographer Kevin McDade captured them in action. Up first was Lawrence Chaney, and there seemed to be 3 stages to this challenge. Playing with the Brit crew, playing with regulation tennis balls, and then playing with some really big balls, I'm just saying. Clearly, some doping was involved. All the while serving face, no matter how close those balls got, and Larry took those balls like a champ. Taste was next, and she all but ignored those balls flying through the air. She was so focused on rocking her 36 inches. You heard me. Bimini, in true British form, wore a hat for her photo shoot. She even led with her best assets, but it wasn't until the Brit crew lent a hand that she was able to turn things around. See what I did there? God bless Joe Black. As much as the Brit crew were there to support her, she seemed to be left twisting in the wind. Hell, they never even got to the balls. Poor Joe. Cherry Valentine had only one question. When do I get to see the balls? Who doesn't love an eager beaver? Especially after Cherry practically showed us hers. Seriously. Ellie Diamond came to play with more than just balls. Hell, she looked like she was ready to jump that net, among other things. You go, Ellie. Ginny Lemon took to this challenge like a true lady who's gagging for more than a quick volley. But in the end, she was overcome by the big balls. Hell, if you're going to be overcome by big balls, you want it to be in the end, let me tell you. Astina was serving William's sister realness and wouldn't stop dancing and posing no matter what they threw at her, which was still balls. Next up, Ronnie Green. And can I just say, I love the nickname Ronnie for Veronica. I'm so glad Rue used it. As for Ronnie's photo shoot, things really seemed to take off when, well, she got down with the Brit crew. Not like that, not like that. Sister was next, and her makeup was made for this challenge. I mean, it gave the Brit crew something to aim at. I'm so serious. A Horace photo shoot didn't go too well until she ignored the balls altogether and just made it all about her racket. God, if I had a nickel. Tia Coffey's wig played better tennis than she did. I mean, it made more contact with the balls, that's for sure. It just wasn't good at returning any of them. But in the end, she leaned heavily on the Brit crew to lift her up. Literally. After it was all said and done and those balls had been put away, Rue announced that the winner of the mini challenge was Lawrence Chaney. Way to set that bar, Larry. Good on you. I'm so serious. But before Larry could underplay her win with too much self-deprecation, Rue announced this season's first Maxi challenge. In honor of the 50th anniversary of the Gay Liberation Front in Britain, the Queens had to walk the runway in a look that pays tribute to a British gay icon. And just as I started asking myself, is that it? Rue let the Queens know that they had to present a second look that showed why they're the queen of their hometown. What, no musical number? Hiding behind her drag because she's not confident out of it makes a lot of sense, but Larry's lack of confidence out of drag due to her looks is a horrible thing to hear, bless her. She's only 23. She's got her whole life to feel ugly, and let me tell you babies out there, nothing looks better than 23, unless it's 22. It's only going to get rougher the longer down the road you go, so love yourself and love the journey. Trust me, it'll make the trip way better. Seriously. I love that Sister pointed out the confident drag queen is still part of who Lawrence is. Let's hope she takes that to heart. Otherwise, I predict our Miss Chaney may end up being her own worst enemy. Just saying. The next day was elimination day and the queens seemed excited to get ready. Estina told Bimini that she was doing Naomi Campbell as her gay icon, but seemed bothered when Bimini said so was Tace. So when Miss Mandela called Tace over, I thought the Estina was going to hit the fan. But no, it was fairly civil. Both queens admitted to having trouble picking a British gay icon of color. Really? No one was inspired by Emanike, an out-proud queer musician who's worked with Beyonce and Dua Lipa? Hell, he was on last season's Drag Race UK to help the queens record Break Up. I know he inspired me. Or how about Lady Phil, who helped create UK's Black Pride? Those are just two I came up with, and I don't even live in the UK. Educate yourself, children, I'm just saying. As the rest of the queens got ready, Veronica, Sister, and Horace started sizing up the competition and who they thought may be the first queen to sashay away. Horace was sure that Estina would be on the chopping block simply because she was behind getting her makeup on and seemed to be panicking about it. Horace also felt that Tia would be in the bottom simply because Horace doesn't see it. Thank God for Sister, who stayed neutral by declaring it was too early to call. And then it was time for the runway. Rue looked good in her gay church choir robe. Michelle Visage was there without her silver streak. Oh, no, I was wrong. There he was there, Graham Norton. And rounding out the judges panel as only she knows how, 90s it girl, Elizabeth Hurley. Up first, category is UK Gay Icon. The first queen down the runway was Joe Black as David Bowie. And I have to say, this look was a Fingerdoo for me, although I would never have guessed it to be David Bowie. At best, I'd give it Sharon Needles in her Pee-wee dress. Seriously. Also, I just want to send a shout out to Jack Sugar 5 on Twitter, who suggested I start coining the word fingerdon'ts for outfits I don't like. You get a Fingerdoo for that, Jack, seriously. Estina Mandela was next, channeling some Naomi Campbell realness. For this, another Fingerdoo from me. But if I was going to split wig hairs, I wish Estina had got Naomi's signature walk down. But she looked good. Next, eschewing her signature color was Ginny Lemon channeling Kate Bush, which isn't that big a surprise seeing as Ginny has Kate Bush tattooed on her fingers. Needless to say, this was a Fingerdoo for me too. Tia Coffey's nod to Alan Turing was inspired once she explained it. Otherwise, I'd never figured out her dots were binary spelling out love. It was too smart for me. There, I said it. Either way, cute as it was still just a suit and a Fingerdon't for me. Bimini was next, and no offense, even after she said who her icon was, I still didn't know who she was talking about. This was the first I'd ever heard of Princess Julia. Doesn't mean she wasn't an icon. It also didn't make it a Fingerdoo either. Up next was a surefire Fingerdoo, Lawrence Chaney challenging some serious Diana Rigg as Emma Peel. Realness was everything. This outfit was painstakingly recreated to perfection and in my opinion was a way better look than Diana Rigg in Game of Thrones. Just saying. Well done, Larry. Seriously. Cherry Valentine's Freddie Mercury wanting to break free was brilliant and an easy Fingerdoo from me. Coincidentally, Easy Fingerdoo was my original drag queen name in high school. Veronica Green's Boy George was quite good as well. I was super impressed that she finished the outfit off with an actual pair of shoes owned by Boy George himself. Another Fingerdoo. Seriously. Another surefire Fingerdoo was a Horace Vivian Westwood. Too bad that skirt was tripping her up, I'm just saying. Sister Sister's Dusty Springfield was fun, but it was missing something. I don't know if she needed a microphone or the son of a preacher man, but it felt incomplete to me, which is why she got a Fingerdon't. Next up was Ellie Diamond as drag legend Lily Savage, but except for the blonde hair, I thought Ellie looked a bit more like Ben de la Creme. Seriously, that makeup was way too good for Miss Savage, no offense, and a solid Fingerdoo for me. And last but not least was Tace as Naomi number 2. I don't know who wore it better between Tace and Estina, but I was disappointed that neither of them got the walk down. There, I said it. And then it was time for Category 2, Queen of Your Hometown. Joe Black was first, looking like a cross between Nosferatu and a Queen of Egypt. I'm glad she said she was representing the Brighton Pavilion in her hometown of Brighton, because I didn't see it. And I've been to Brighton. First off, even though her headdress did look a bit like the Brighton Pavilion, it's white, not gold. Just saying. And I didn't get the rest of the outfit either. Estina Mandela's East London look was okay. Looked like she ordered it off the internet, but from what I hear, that's just about right for East London. But can I say, even though the outfit was a finger don't for me, Estina's legs were finger doing it all the way up to her chin, I'm just saying. Ginny Lemon's nod to Worcester drag king legend Vesta Tilly was inspired. Now there's a history lesson for all you children out there. Seriously. Tia's Nottingham look was a little Party City costume for me, which made it a finger don't, but that doesn't mean she didn't look good in it, I'm just saying. Bimini Bon Boulash had my biggest finger don't of the night. Her Norwich footy fan was just a little too sloppy for me. And it sounds like the fact that she wasn't wearing pants or tights made her uncomfortable. Nice butt though. I can't believe that my second favorite outfit of the night was also worn by Lawrence Chaney. I think I was expecting a Scottish tartan on Larry, but instead she chose to represent Glasgow by wearing a dress inspired by Glaswegian architect and designer Charles Rennie Mackintosh. I was impressed. Cherry Valentine represented the city of Darlington and its big clock, but to tell the truth, I didn't get it. Just looked like a dusty outfit with a weird purse. Is it a dirty city? Either way, it was a finger don't. Veronica Green looked like the queen of somewhere, I'll tell you what. This is another outfit I didn't get until it was explained. Ronnie's dress represented an upside-down Lancaster rose. Is that Ronnie's way of telling us she wants to be flipped over? Who cares? It was a finger do for me. Speaking of Party City, Ahura entered armed and dangerously representing Nottinghamshire. I know what you're thinking. Is Nottinghamshire and Nottingham the same thing? The answer is no. Not since 1998. There. I said it. Sister represented Liverpool in her best jams and like a proper scouse woman had her hair all up in curlers because she's too busy to sit for a set. I'm telling you, Liverpool's a hoot. And so's this outfit. Fingerdoo! The best thing about Ellie Diamond's Ode to Dundee was her face. Good Lord, that 21-year-old knows how to beat a mug. Who else is waiting for her makeup tutorials to start flowing? Just me? I just wish she hadn't already worn that skirt in a different color. It's a bit of a letdown. Still a finger do, but it was sideways. Last but not least, Tace in her Welsh dragon cocktail outfit was a total finger do for me, and my third favorite outfit of the night. What can I say? I love a funky ostrich. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. Right away, Rue announced that Ginny, Tia, Cherry, Veronica, Ahura, and Tace were all safe, much to their chagrin. As for the rest, Michelle wasn't impressed by Joe's Bowie. Probably not the first time Joe's heard that. While Graham was confused by Joe's gold pavilion because, as I said, it's really white. Estina seemed to be a fave of the judges. They all felt her Naomi was spot on, while Graham was impressed that Estina chose to show a broad range of looks for her first runway. Good for you, Estina. Michelle seemed to be underwhelmed where Bimini was concerned, especially with her not hiding all that tape in her hometown look. And by hometown look, I mean butt cracks, seriously. That said, Graham wished he'd seen more of her personality. Hell, she just went down the runway without underwear, Graham. How much more do you want to see? Seriously. Something all the judges were in agreement over was their disappointment of Bimini saying this was her most revealing outfit. I'm sure they all are hoping she lied. Larry was next, and Michelle couldn't say enough about how happy she was that Lawrence didn't wear a tartan for her hometown look, and how polished her icon look was. So it seems, did everyone else. Sister was next, and although Michelle liked her Dusty Springfield, she felt she could have gone bigger with it, while Elizabeth Hurley thought Sister was perfect the way she was. It's good to have someone in your corner. Last but not least was Ellie Diamond, and the first thing Rue said was how gorgeous her makeup was. Look out, Raven! Rue may be looking to trade up, I'm just saying. In fact, all the judges loved Ellie and thought both her runways were exceptional, much to Lawrence's chagrin. And then it was time to untuck. The safe queens were fuming over being safe. Okay, well, just Tace. But Ahura thought when Rue was calling out their names that they were the top and bottom queens. Well, Quick as a flash, Tia asked Ahura who she thought was in the bottom then. I have to say, I admired Ahura for telling the truth. She thought that Tia and Estina were in the bottom, and that went over like a lead balloon. Personally, if I'd been Tia, I wouldn't have been too worried about what a glittery green chicken had to say. That's when the rest of the queens entered the workroom. Everyone was gagged to hear that the judges didn't love Joe Black's look, but did love Estina's. Sister was still clearly deflated over her critiques, as one can imagine, but it was clear to everyone that Bimini didn't have a great critique as well, and was mentally preparing herself for an underwear-less lip sync. Back on the runway, it was announced that Estina Mandela was the winner of this week's challenge, much to Ahora's chagrin. And surprise, surprise, it was Joe Black and Bimini Bon Boulash who landed in the bottom. The queens had to perform to Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax. Off the top, the lip sync was pretty boring. The queens did okay. Joe's cabaret background did nothing to really help her, while Bimini's lack of pants seemed to restrict her movements at first. But as we got into it, Bimini started to prove why they call her Bendy. She got down, she got up, she even ended it all in the splits. Joe, on the other hand, pantomimed riding in an elevator. It was so close. But when the music died, as sorry as I was to hear it, it was legendary Joe Black who was this season's pork chop and was the first to sashay away. And I, for one, am so sorry to see her go. Let's hope they bring back these eliminated queens later this season is all I'm saying, because we really didn't get a good look. I mean, I didn't, did you? So, what did you think? Did Estina deserve her win? If not, who did? What about Joe Black sashaying? Are you gagged or happy she's out of the way? As for the remaining girls, did anyone surprise you? I have to say, even though she landed in the bottom, I was very impressed with Bimini Bon Boulash this week. I'm so serious. Lawrence impressed the hell out of me and is clearly a front runner with the judges, as is Ellie Diamond. I'm hoping that Sister can pull herself out of her depression after being in the bottom on week 1, and I get the sense if Taste doesn't win something soon, somebody's getting a slap. But we won't know how it all turns out until we tune into RuPaul's Drag Race next week, and then when you're done, you come on back and you see me so you and I can compare notes. Now, don't forget to like this video if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until next week, miss me. Mwah. Seriously. Oh, this double. It's making me woozy and alert all at the same time. Ooh, you know what this would be good in? A milkshake. You know, you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and have it on oatmeal. Why can't you be regular and have a buzz? Here I am drinking this thing out of a to-go cup, and this is good lipstick. It's not even moving. Very